Hello lovely people! Today I'm trying to draw with oil pastels for the first time. I love when art shops or anyone reuses packaging. If I ever get to sell my art or anything really, you can bet I'll reuse as much packaging materials as I can. Oh, that's cool, they have perforation for easier peeling. And wait, do they not have names on them? Just the number? Oh, that's unfortunate. Wait, these do have names? Did I miss it on the first one? Oh, it's underneath here. Okay, cool. I really wanted to try them out since earlier this year, and now I finally can. So I wanted to get just a few shades to try them out, and then I added a few more, and then a few more, and then a few more for free shipping. So usually I get small sets to try out a new medium or get specific colors I need for a specific project. This time I went a little haywire and kept adding colors to my cart and taking them out and adding them in, and then I had like 3 olive greens in my cart and I didn't even end up buying it at all. Anyway, I ended up with 21, but also to be fair, compared to what I heard from other people, I think I got the Sennelier Oil Pastels for a really nice price. So after swatching them for blending, I tried to smudge them with a folded piece of paper towel, and it was fine, but it felt like nails on the chalkboard. Just thinking about it now gives me goosebumps. So I tried to smudge it with my finger, and that was much better. And it's very easy to actually wipe it off afterwards, though it does stain a tiny bit. Anyway, I think since oil pastels are, well, oily already, a bit of extra oil from my fingers won't hurt, hopefully. And some of the pastels felt kind of drier, like the black or the charcoal blue or the yellow gray, and I don't know if that's a standard for some shades or if it's because of how long they were stored before they got to me, but yeah, some felt drier and harder, but then some felt so soft and creamy I nearly slipped off the paper with them, like the white or the ash blue. Well, moving on, I made a quick sketch that's not exactly centered, but that's fine, and then took a deep breath and started drawing. Painting? It is considered a drawing with oil pastels, right? Or is the definition unclear? Anyway, I feel like a baby deer standing for the first time. Oil pastels are a medium unlike any other that I've tried so far, and it scares me slightly, but I am so excited to be finally trying it. It's probably the closest I'll ever get to oil painting too. So I also got another sketchbook. I have several sketchbooks that I am actively using, and they all have a specific purpose. This one is Canson XL mixed media book, and it has like a medium grain thick off-white paper, and this one I got specifically for oil pastels and watercolors. The art creation sketchbooks are fine for watercolors unless you do like really heavy washes, but I also wanted to try something, I don't want to say higher quality necessarily. I really love those sketchbooks. I just wanted to try something better suited for watercolors, I guess, and also sturdier. As for oil pastels, I will probably try them in the art creation sketchbook as well, but I'm worried that since that paper is fairly thin, or at least on the thinner side, and oil pastels are, as we already established, oily, they might leak through, and not in a alcohol marker kind of way, so we'll see. Please let me know if you have any experience with this. Collecting art supplies and using them are two separate hobbies, and I am a victim of them both. Luckily though, I don't have a problem actually using them. I know that some people get new art supplies or sketchbooks and they're so crisp and clean and it feels like a crime to use them, and I absolutely understand, but I'm glad I don't have that problem. I actually kind of like when you can see art supplies had been used, like a dip in a watercolor pen or pencil as short as your pinky, unless you've got really long pinkies, and paint splattered paint tubes. Brushes though, I do prefer crisp and undamaged. So blending, I think, is pretty much okay. I especially like the way the caps turned out. Well, the top of them at least. The bottoms, well, I picked wrong colors for those. The smaller one turned out slightly better though, I think. And I was also a bit scared to really lay down enough, at first at least, but as I went on, I think I got a bit bolder and it got better. Usually I start with backgrounds when drawing or painting. This time I thought it might be better to start with the foreground, because I didn't know how well these would layer and mix while layering, but next time I will be trying it the other way around, because there did end up being a gap that I was unable to close without smudging the background into the foreground by accident. So now it looks like there is a strange white outline around the mushrooms, so yeah. And speaking of that gap and the white specks of paper shining through, because of that and because some of the colors are semi-transparent or even transparent, next time I will do some base, either with some acrylic gouache or Derwent Inktense watercolor, since it won't budge once it dries and moisture doesn't reactivate it. So I think those are good options for underpaintings. And honestly, I wanted to try it out this time, but I got so excited to start, I forgot. But eventually I wanted to try it out without the base anyway, so it's fine. I also know that the specks of paper shining through could be minimized or maybe even completely eliminated if you used a smoother paper or used harder oil pastels for the base and layer softer ones on top, but I didn't immediately want to invest into several sets because I wasn't even sure how I would like this medium. And smoother paper is worse for building up layers, so this is the way I am doing it for now at least. We'll see in the future. One thing I was really worried about with these oil pastels was that since they are so soft, I would end up using like half of each stick for this single drawing. But they hold up pretty well. Even the charcoal blue that I used really a lot of, I think, you can barely see a dent in the stick. I also need to get the fixative for these. I should have gotten one in the first place, but at that moment it was unfortunately sold out. Also near the end I had to turn on my desk lamp. I always draw with daylight, at least when I'm filming, because that's the best light I have, but since it's getting dark so quickly and early now, and it will stay that way for a while, I think I will have to occasionally film with artificial light, but I'd say my lamp is pretty good, so I hope it doesn't bother you too much. Well, I went into this with certain expectations and some things turned out worse than I had expected, but some turned out better. And I already learned a lot and can't wait to try again with this acquired experience and experiment more. I would like to start playing with colors more and focus less on perfection for now. And I think this is actually a great medium for that, because I've seen people create insane details with these, but I am far from that, and since I can't achieve that perfection just yet, maybe it will allow me to be less tense about it and play around more. Now all we have left is that satisfying peel, except for the top part where the washi tape slightly ripped off the paper. But it's actually not that bad at all. I think this was the smoothest peel I've ever had, and usually I end up with more paper missing, so this was a success. So this is my first ever oil pastel painting, drawing. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you've ever tried oil pastels or if you would like to, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!